Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. It's actually been a pretty good day today, and Mystical Munchies just went up on the channel with the Spencer's Minty discs. So now we're done with the Dungeon Meister cookbook. We'll be, like I mentioned in that video, we'll be into a new cookbook in April, but I'll unveil that cookbook during the end of March recap. In this video, we're actually going to step back into our previously started background career that we started for the Hunters from GMT Games and or Consim Press. We've started a career with a German sub for Lieutenant Commander Zirsi Hans Zimmer is the name we're going to make up for that. Actually, it's Ober Lieutenant Zirsi, I think. My German pronunciation is absolutely horrendous, but hopefully that won't be too bad. We've already gone through three successful patrols, managing to sink a total of 7 ships for a total of 63,300 tons of Allied shipping that we've gotten rid of. So it's April 1940 actually. Let's move over to the sub, but there's something we need to take care of first. Here's a quick refresher look at our sub. It's a Type 9A. U-225 is what we're calling this one. So we've got everything. I'm just going to get a pair of tweezers out here so I can point everything out. There we go. We've got our first batch of electric torpedoes loaded into all of our tubes. Most of the steam torpedoes are our reloads, and we've got 5 ammo on the deck gun, which represents about 25 shots from the deck gun. But I mentioned something that we need to take care of. So we had our 3rd successful patrol the last time we played this game. So we actually need to roll for crew advancement. So we get to roll on, I'll show the table that we're rolling on. So we're rolling on this table and getting the result for that. So let's go ahead and roll this up. So a 2 means the doctor becomes an experte. Where are you? Ah, here we are. Doctor experte. So the benefit we get from that is all crew injury recovery rolls receive a favorable -1 modifier. So we'll put that down here. I'll make a note of that off shot once I find there's my pen. Alright, so alright, so now that we've got that all figured out, we should be all set to go in this one. So let's go ahead and get ready to roll for our first patrol tonight. I should have mentioned it off the top of the video, but I'm generally not going to make Friday videos a habit on the channel. The only reason I'm filming one tonight is because my group game night ended up falling apart on me, and I actually got a lot done, so I've got a little extra time on my hands. I'll drop the dice in, but before we roll for our first patrol tonight, I do want to point out that since we've moved into April 1940, our patrol assignments, our possible patrol assignments have changed a little bit. So now we still have the Spanish coast along with the West African coast, but now we've got more possibilities of going up to Norway. So we'll go ahead and give this a roll, and we'll see where we end up going. A 3, I believe, speaking of Norway. A 3 sends us right up to Norway. So we'll get that ready to go. And we'll move down. Here's Norway. So it looks like we've got 2 transit boxes to start with. Just going to get some notes. And we don't have any Bay of Biscay, so we're all transit all the way here. So let's go ahead and roll for our first transit box. An 8. We'll take our first look at the transit chart. 8 is nothing. So transit 2. I'm just making notes in the logbook off shot. Let's see, a 3 I believe is something. Let's see, we're still in transit, so yes, a roll of a 3 is an aircraft attack. This is going to be fun. Joy, joy. So that brings us to... Where is the start of the air attack chart? I know it's here somewhere. Ah, here we go. So on an aircraft encounter, we have to roll. And we're hoping to see a 6 or more here for a successful crash dive for no attack. We've got a -1 modifier, actually. I didn't see that on the... The -1 is for a Type 9 U-boat, which we've taken out. So we'll go ahead and roll this up. A 7, which translates into a 6. So we do manage to successfully crash dive for no air attack. All right, we'll make a note there. Thankfully, no air attack. Not the way I want to be starting a new tour with getting hit from the air. So we'll roll for our first Norway box. Okay, I need to actually turn this chart back to the other side. All right, a 6 I believe is nothing, looking at the Norway chart. Yep, nothing for that box. Moving over to Norway box 2. Let's see what happens here. A 9 coming over here. Gives us a ship and an escort. Alright, so let's see what we've got for a ship. So we'll roll a d6 for the size. Then we've got the black d10 is our tens digit, the white one will be our units. So let's see what we are encountering here. Let's see, that's small freighter number 40. Which, looking at this, is actually a pretty decent sized ship. So we're encountering... We've got a small freighter coming over to the chart. We've got the 4,000-ton Rio Azul, which we haven't encountered yet. But of course it does have an escort with it, so... About a 4,000-ton ship is actually a decent-sized ship, so we are going to attack this one, which means we need the combat mat in shot. We'll grab our small freighter target out. First thing we need to do is figure out what time of day it is. Actually, this is... Let's make sure this... Let's see, I'm pretty sure Norway is going to consist of an Arctic patrol, but let me double check that. 8... Okay, so 9 to 24. Due to the northern latitudes. See, I believe... Oh no, Arctic. So I think it looks like there's a specific zone for Arctic, so I don't think anything special happens with the Norway patrol. So we end up rolling for day or night like normal. A 2 says it's day. We do have the option to switch it to night, but I don't think we're going to, because a 4,000-ton small freighter is actually not a terrible prize. Which means we are going to attack, but since we are attacking, we will have to attack submerged. We'll attack from medium range because I don't want to get hit with the escort right away. And since I'm attacking submerged, there are 2 things I can't do. I can only fire one set of torpedoes at a time, and I can't use the deck gun. I'll start with my 4 forward electric torpedoes. Mostly because I want to get rid of these as fast as I can. Unfortunately, these like to dud out on me fairly frequently, a lot more frequently than I would like. But with that, since we are attacking from medium range, we do get to attack here. So we'll start off with fire 1. And on these, and since we're attacking from medium range, we're going to roll 2, we're actually going to roll 3d6. So the 2 white dice are going to be the attack. The black die is going to be whether it's a dud or not. So from medium range, I want to see a 7 or less total on the white dice and a 4 to 6 on the black die, so we get a true hit. So fire 1. Unfortunately, we also have to count for a G7E at medium range. So that's snake eyes. That would be a total of 3, but it's also a dud, so that's a miss. So that basically amounts to a miss. Fire 2. Alright, that's a 9, which would be a miss anyway. That's a problem. What the? Okay, looks like that just came flying off of the board. Fire 3. We had some terrible shooting to start last time as well. Let's see, that's a 5 and a 4, so that's actually a 5 total on the white dice and a 4 on the black, so that's a hit. Fire 4. Alright, a 6 and another 5, so that's a hit, which means we're almost certainly sinking this thing, because we only need 2 damage to sink a small freighter, so we'll roll 2d6 for each torpedo. Let's see, a 4 and a 6 they're both 1 damage each, but that's 2 damage total, which we needed to sink the Rio Azul. So we got away with 1. So 4,000 tons. But now we need to try to escape now that we've sunk this thing. So the escort will get to try to detect us. Let's see. We are going to exceed test depth on this one, so we'll have to take a hull damage, and I'll point that out when we bring the sub back into shot. But we do have to roll an 8 or less, and because we're exceeding test depth, we get a -1 on the roll. Six minus 1 is 5, so we escape. So we exceeded test depth and escaped. With that, that's the end of the encounter. I'll make a note in the log. Alright, so that's the, let me just double check, but is it 1d6 or 2? I think it's 2 when you go to exceed test depth that you have to roll. Let me just double check that real quick. Let's see, exceeding test depth. Okay, it automatically takes 1 hull damage, then rolls 2d6. I didn't bother rolling through that because there's no way we could have exceeded the... Actually, technically, we're supposed to do that first, so I think it's equal to or less, right? Yes, less than the current number of... Wait. Okay, if the roll is less than the current number of damaged boxes. Okay, so we're actually going to take that as our exceeding test depth roll. Now we have to roll for escort detection. We still give them the slip. So all that rambling amounted to no real change on game state. So with that, we need the sub back in shot. Apologies that got so rambly. I was trying to make sure I had everything straight. But you can see here there's the hull damage from when we exceeded test depths to escape the escort. I've reloaded the forward torpedo tubes with the next round of electric torpedoes. So now we'll move into our third Norway patrol box. And we'll see what happens here. Let's see, that's a 6, which I believe is still nothing. Yep, nothing for Norway. So that will bring us to box 4. A 7, I believe, is also nothing. Yep, 7 in Norway is nothing. Good thing we attacked the Rio Azul then. Because that looks like it's going to be the only action that we see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like the only action we're going to see on this patrol. A 5 is also nothing. We did actually have the aircraft that we got away from earlier. Now as we move back into transit, now we want it to be quiet. Because we don't want to get attacked from the air. Nine on transit is nothing. And our last transit box before we get back home . A 3, uh-oh. 3 is an aircraft attack. Oh joy. Alright, so that brings us back to the aircraft attack chart, which of course went I was going to say it went hiding on me, but it's actually on the back of the encounter chart. So we roll for the aircraft. Once again, we want to see a 6 or more. But we are modifying by -1. 6 minus 1 is 5, so we have to roll an attack on the escort, on the air attack chart, and a crew injury, which that chart is right over here. So escort and air attack. All right. So we'll roll for the air attack first. A 7 is 2 hits. That's going to be fun. We have to roll for the crew injury from the initial air attack first before we roll for the hit. So for that, we need the crew injury chart, which is right here. Similar was what we've done before. I'll roll the white d6 for the crew member, and then the black d6 for the injury. So let's see what we get here. All right, that is a random crew member on a result of a 9 on the white dice, and then a 4 is a severe wound. So random crew member 4 gets a severe wound, because of course he does. And now we have to roll for 2 incoming hits on the... We have to roll for 2 incoming hits on the boat. So similar to what we've done before, we'll be on the U-boat damage chart. The black die will be the 10s, the white die will be the units. .33 is another point of hull damage. And our second hit. .14 is the periscope is damaged. All right, now I got to double check on the one attack. Actually, I think we roll for the flak attack at the same time, which, because we rolled a 5 on that, they were damaged. So I think we have to roll for resolve second air attack if called for. Roll a second air attack if called for, then proceed to the next travel box. So let me just double check that, but I think we do have to roll for... Yeah, it looks like we have to roll for a second air attack. But then the encounter's over after that. So basically we scared the aircraft off. Snake Eyes, oh joy. So we get 2 attacks, and we have to roll a crew injury. So once again, we'll roll the crew injury first. Back to the crew injury chart. Alright, so now he has a light wound as well. Okay, so nothing further with a serious wound, but we do need to roll for 2 attacks. So we need to roll for 2 more attacks on the boat. This is going to be fun. .25 is Diesel Engine 2. Good thing we were back in port. And, well, good thing we're basically back in port. And 21 is flooding. So because we damaged the aircraft on the first attack, the aircraft runs off at this point and the encounter is over. So now we are back home, and we managed to dodge the bullet on further air attacks. So we did have a successful patrol up in Norway, added another 4,000 tons of shipping. Let's see, we had crew hit. Actually, poor fourth crew guy got hit twice. 2 and periscope damaged. Alright, so on a serious wound, we have to roll to see if the... Okay, so we are back in port. Just double checking here. Where are you? Okay, so looks like so I'm pretty sure, so we have just our standard refit heading into June 1940, but we gotta see if that crew member is going to still be able to join us. Because we have a standard recovery of a month, so we have to roll to see if he'll be joining us, or if we'll be getting somebody green. How long will it take him to recover? It'll take him a month to recover, so no change there. But we can put that back. I'll go ahead and reload the torpedoes that we had. And then June 1940 will be our next patrol. June 1940 has actually brought us a bit of change, where it sounds like there's been a change in London as far as the Prime Minister is concerned. So apparently Neville Chamberlain has just been replaced by Winston Churchill. So I imagine there'll be a greater focus on the Navy at this point, but we need to roll for where we're going out on our next patrol. Let's see, a 6. Funnily enough, on the April to June 1940 chart, has us going out to the British Isles. That's probably like I think that's the third time we've been sent there. British Isles, yep. This will be our third patrol in the British Isles. Let's see if we can't strike fear into the heart of Churchill, given that he's given his history with the Admiralty. Alright, so we do have to start with the Bay of Biscay here, which is not exactly a welcome friend. We'll flip that chart over. We don't want to see anything above we want to see a 5 or above on these. So, of course, we roll Snake Eyes to start because we have aircraft. Fun. Alright, so that brings us right into the aircraft encounter. Joy. This is going to be fun. Alright, so we're rolling this at a -1. Oh, fun. So we get 1 attack and a crew injury. Wonderful. And that was a 3, so we actually managed to shoot it down. I think that's how it works, right? I think it's a simultaneous roll based on the result, or do I have to roll that separately? Just double check that roll for attack. Okay, so roll for attack. Looks like we roll for flak. Alright, so we have to roll it separately, apparently. Alright, so we take... So 3 means we take 1 attack. Alright, let's find out... Well, let's roll the crew injury first, as usual. These should have been repaired, by the way. Okay, so 9 should be the... Where is it? 9, I believe, is crew... Yep, is that 4th crew member again, and this time he gets a light wound, so he'll just walk it off. Light wound there. And now we have to roll for damage to the ship. Or damage to the boat. .44 is flooding, which technically should have been reset. I forgot to do that at the end of the last patrol. All right, so that was 1. That was the crew injury, and we had 1 attack, I believe. So now we roll for flak, which means we want to see... Ideally, we want to see a 3 or less. But we are rolling this at a -1, and fortunately, the flak gun is not damaged right now. So of course a 7's a miss. This is going to be fun. Roll for additional round of combat. So we'll be rolling on this additional round of combat chart, which means here I want to see a 6 or above. A 4 is another aircraft. Delightful. This is totally off to a good start. Right, so right back to the aircraft encounter. Oh, wonderful. Can we get a 6 or more this time, please? That's a 10 minus 1 is 9. Still, that'll work. Ah, joy. Wonderful. That was all kinds of fun. Anyway. Alright, so that will bring us into our first transit box of the port, of the patrol. Not how I wanted to start this patrol, Commander. Alright, so we're back into transit. A 5? 5 in transit is nothing going on, so that brings us into the British Isles proper. Alright, so we'll move over to the British Isles. Alright, that's a 5, which... A 5 is a lone ship, so let's see what we've got here. We'll roll it as usual. Let's see, 4 I believe is a large freighter, isn't it? That's not the chart I want. Oh yes, here it is. Large freighter number, what is that? 99. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, ships are over here, because of course they are. Large freighter 99 is the 7,200-ton William Hooper. AKA, ooh, num-nums. So of course, since it's a lone ship, we are going to attack. So let's bring the combat mat right into shot. No escort, but it would help to have our large freighter target on the combat mat. First thing we need to do is find out what time of day it is. It's day, and this is a pretty good target, so we're actually going to attack. Once again, we have to attack submerged because it's a daytime attack. And a 7,200-ton freighter, I really don't want to let this one get away, so we're going to throw all four forward torpedoes at it. And we're going to need 3 damage to sink this. So, once again, per usual, we also have to select range. Since there's no escort, we're going to attack from nice and up close. So, fire 1. Since we're firing from up close, this time we need an 8 or less. But we also got a 3 on the dud die, so that's a dud. Fire 2. That's an 8, which is a hit, which is a true hit. Fire 3. Is a dud. And fire 4. Is another dud. You've got to be kidding me. So that's 2 duds. I think the first one we had... I think we ended up with flooding on the first one. Just refreshing my memory on the aircraft encounter. So let's see what happens on this. Let's see what happens with this attack. 1 torpedo does 1 damage. That's not good. 5, yes, is 1 damage. Alright, so... let's see, not short range. Target was escorted, okay. Roll attack. We do have an unused weapon, so we'll roll... we'll actually fire the aft torpedoes added as... we'll actually fire the 2 aft electric torpedoes added as well. So fire 1 from aft. And I think since this is a second salvo, this one's at a +1. So +1 on the white dice. Fire 1 from the aft. That one's a hit. +1 is 7, yep, so that's a hit. Fire 2 aft. Wait, this is actually an unescorted surface attack, so this is actually a submerged attack, so never mind, we don't get to attack that. Wait, yes we do, never mind. So that first one's still a hit, fire 2. So we're using, yeah, okay. Alright, so fire 2 is still a thing. Which that's a miss. That's unfortunate, but we have to roll for damage. That's a 4, so that's another 1 damage. Oh, joy. Alright, so we're at 2 damage on that large freighter. Now we have to decide if we're going to... all targets sunk, no. Additional round. We are going to reload our torpedoes, and we're going to see... actually, we still have a roster of electric torpedoes, which will load up. But before we can do that, we do have to roll for the additional round of combat. So we're back to... so we're back to this chart once again, and again we want to see something. We want to see a 6 or 6 or higher. A 7 is nothing, so we get to roll. So we get to go through another round of combat. Alright, so this is a second round of combat, which means now we can use our electric torpedoes once again, and I think I'll fire from... I think knowing my luck with these electric torpedoes, I'm going to put all 4 into this target. Even though I only need 1 damage. So fire 1 from forward. And we're staying up close. Of course it's a dud. You've got to be kidding me. Fire 2. Another dud. Are you kidding me? Fire 3. Nine minus 1 is... we don't have a -1 anywhere, do we? No, because this is still a daytime attack, so that's a miss. And fire 4. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. Alright, so now we get to fire from the aft tubes again. Which means now I'll be all out of torpedoes in the aft. But we are into steam torpedoes now, which dud out a lot less frequently. Fire 1. So on the steam torpedoes, now we need a 1. Now we need a 1. Don't want to see a 1 or a 2. That'll work. And fire 2. That's definitely a hit. So we're obliterating the. So we're definitely obliterating the William Hooper. For another 2 damage. So of course we can't roll to save our lives on that either. And because it was not escorted and we managed to not pick up an escort in the additional round of combat or get ambushed from the air, the encounter is over, so let's bring the boat back in shot. I swear, those electric torpedoes are enough to make me pull out what little hair I have left. But let's move over into British Isles 2, and hopefully we'll have a little bit better luck with these steam torpedoes now that they're in the forward tubes. Alright, a 6 is a ship with an escort. Wonderful. So let's see what we've got for this ship. Small Freighter 58. Alright, let's take a look at our roster and see what we've found. We have the 4,800-ton Cassequel. We're right. Or Cassequel, I guess. That's actually not a terrible prize at all, 4,800 tons. But it does have an escort with it, so we do need to be a little bit careful of that. But given the size of it, I think we are going to attack. So let's bring the combat mat right back in shot. I'm already running a little low on torpedoes, so I do need to be careful of that so early in the patrol. It would be nice if those electrics would actually hit reliably, but let's see what time of day it is. Five says it's actually night for once. So we can flip that over. And now we've got options. So this time I actually could attack surfaced, and I think I will attack. Yeah, let's attack surfaced. I'm going to attack from medium range as well. Now this will be a night surface attack. We'll put all 4. Well, we only need 2 damage to sink this thing. And these are steam torpedoes, so I'm going to put 3 into it. I'll put 3 into the Cassequel. Hopefully the less likely to dud out on the steam torpedoes will help out there. So because of a night surface attack, we get to subtract 1 from the roll on the white dice. So fire 1. So of course we dud out, even though it was a 6, but we rolled a 2 on the black die. Fire 2. Seriously? Fire 3. Okay, that's a hit. Let's see how much damage we do. We need 2 damage to sink this thing. A 4, I believe, is only 1 damage. That's unfortunate. Fantastic. Okay, so that torpedo's done, but we now have to roll for detection. Right. And we can't exceed test depth because we attacked surfaced. Let's see, that's a 6. Yeah, that's a 6. So we actually don't get detected, which means we have an option if we want to follow the... Which means we now have the option to follow this if we want to. And 4,800 tons is a decent prize, but we also have 3 more patrol boxes to go. So now we have to decide if we're going to follow this. We do repair, but we don't have to worry about any of that. I think we are going to follow the ship. So we get to roll for the escort. We want to see a 5 or a 6 because we'll lose the escort if we roll that. A 5, which means we lose the escort. And now we can move up close. We can move up nice and close. So first thing I will do is we'll go ahead and reload. Let's see. So we're obviously following our damaged ship. So all right, and start a new round of combat. So we're sticking with our night attack. We'll attack surface this time, and we'll put 2 rounds. We'll put 2 rounds from the deck gun into this because I don't think we shouldn't need anything else at this point to sink it. And now we don't have to worry about rolling for dud. This time we're also going to move up nice and close. We'll move up with the deck gun to try to finish it off. So shot 1 from the deck gun. You've got to be kidding me. That's a 9. Shot 2. That's a 7, so that's a hit. We'll roll for the attack, but I'm pretty sure we're going to sink this thing because we only need to do 1 more damage. Which that's 2 more damage, so we managed to sink the... So we managed to sink the 4,800 ton Casequel. Which will let me save my torpedoes for later in the patrol, but we need to bring the boat right back in shot. I really need to have a talk with the people who are producing these torpedoes. So British Isles 3. And I actually wouldn't mind a quiet patrol here at this point. Nine is nothing for a change. We've already had 2 sinkings, so that's actually kind of welcome. British Isles 4. And 8 is a lone ship. Let's see what we've got this time. Let's see, that is large freighter 18. Let's see, that is the 8,800 ton Navasota. That's actually a really good prize. So of course we're going to attack that. Let's bring the combat mat into shot. First things first, let's find out let's find out if it's day or night. It is night, thankfully, so we will attack. So we're definitely attacking this one surfaced, which means we have a lot of firepower at our disposal. And because this is an unescorted attack, I will put everything I've got into this one, especially since we're near the end of the patrol now. So we'll put all 4 forward torpedoes in, and we'll put 2 shots from the deck gun in. Just because I know these torpedoes have been having terrible rolling luck tonight. So, on that note, fire 1. Alright, that's an 8 minus 1 is 7 because we attacked at night with a night surface torpedo, so that one's a hit. Fire 2. 6 minus 1 is 5, so that's another hit. Fire 3. These would both be hits even. These first 2 hits would have both been hits even at medium range. Alright, 4 minus 1 is 3 with another 4, so this thing is definitely getting obliterated. Fire 4. Alright, fire 4 was a dud, but I don't mind that too much because we've already put so much damage on this thing. Deck gun shot 1. That one's a miss. And deck gun shot 2. Seven is a hit. So the only way we're not sinking this thing is if I've been completely crazy. So we'll roll the red die for the deck gun. Everything else will be for torpedoes. And we need 3 damage to sink this thing, but I'm pretty sure we're sinking this. Yeah, so a 3 with the deck gun is 1 damage. And then 4, so 1, 4, 5, 6 damage. That thing is very sunk. Alright, so that was an uneventful encounter. That was actually a pretty eventful encounter, I would say. But we need the boat back in shot. Our last British Isles box is waiting for us. So let's find out what we've got here. A 3 is nothing, so that's actually very welcome because we're pretty low on ammunition. This will be transit 2. Let's see what we get here. Hopefully not a 2, 3, or boxcars. Well, boxcars I wouldn't mind because that would trigger a random event. That's a 5, so nothing. And then Bay of Biscay, we want a 2, 3, or we don't want a 2, 3, or 4. So let's see what we get here. A 5 is nothing, so we are safely back home. With no damage, thankfully, so we get to go back into port. I'll go ahead and reload. We'll go ahead and replenish on our torpedoes. Those electric torpedoes did not like us at all, but the steams were a lot more reliable. So 20,000, that was another 20,800 tons on a successful patrol. That's the single most shipping that we've managed to sink yet on this in our career. So once I finish reloading, I will tabulate up our new grand total. I can adjust the mix by 4, so we're going to go 5, 6. We're going to go 8 electric, and I'm going the rest steam because these electric torpedoes have been absolutely horrendous. So we're just, like I said, we're just going rest steam. All right, we'll reload the deck gun as well. For 5. Those can go back, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. No, you're all going on steam. 15, 16, 17. I should have 22 torpedoes on here. Let me just make sure I've got this all straight. All right, so the deck gun's all set. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counting the after reloads right now. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 2. Okay, so we've got that. So we got that figured out. And now our current running total of shipping that we've sunk. So where's my calculator? Here we are. All right, so that's 15.9 plus 16.1 plus 31. Oh, we still have that 31.3 patrol that we had back in January 1940, plus 4,000, which was a pretty weak patrol in April 1940, plus a respectable 28, which brings us up to a total of 88,100 tons that we've sunk so far of Allied shipping. So that'll bring us to August 1940, and I think we'll have time for one more patrol tonight. Flooding's all reset, so let's see where we're going. We're now in August 1940, so we're actually using the July to December 1940 chart now. Let's see where we're going. Let's see, a 9 is taking us to the British Isles, and we're going mine laying. Oh, delightful. Which, I don't completely mind this, because this means I have to jettison all of my electric torpedoes in favor of mines. So 4, 5, 6. All right, so that brings us to a slightly different patrol. Let me just make a note here. I do not like mine laying missions at all. All right, so we're starting with, once again, the Bay of Biscay. All right, so a 10 is nothing in the Bay of Biscay. Let's see what happens in our first transit box. Hopefully nothing here as well. 2, 3, or 12 is what we want to avoid. That's a 6, so nothing there. And then this is our mission box coming up. As long as we don't get attacked from the air, we will complete the patrol. So on a mission, right, we don't want to see a 2, 3, or 4. But since we're on... I'm just making sure we don't have any kind of special modifiers here for the mission. I don't... Okay. That's only if we have an encounter. So we don't want to see a 2, 3, or a 4. That's a 6, so mine laying mission is successful. So now we know we have a successful patrol. All right, so now we're into British Isles 1. So right now, anything else is gravy in terms of a successful patrol. But before we get to that, I do need to reload the torpedoes. Steam, steam, electric, electric, steam, and steam. So let's see what we get on our first British Isles actual shipping sinking patrol. Let's see, 8 is a lone ship. So let's see what so once I make a note, we'll see what we've got. Hopefully a good prize, but we'll find out soon enough, won't we? We have large freighter 48. Ooh. Large freighter 48 is the 10,300 ton Ixion. Just making sure I haven't encountered this earlier. I have not. So of course, we are going to attack this. So let's bring the ship combat mat into shot. Is it day or is it night? Let's find out. It is day. Oop, didn't mean to jar the camera there. Now this is actually a very good prize, so we are definitely going to attack. We have to attack submerged, but we do get to get up nice and close. And we'll put all 4 torpedoes into this. All 4 forward torpedoes into this. So fire 1 electric. Let's actually get our target in as well. This was a large freighter we established, right? Yes. All right, so submerge. Now fire 1 electric. A dud, of course. That's not the way I want to be starting this. Fire 2 electric. That would have been a dud anyway, but that was a huge miss. Fire 1 steam. Okay, that's a hit. And fire 2 steam. Is a hit as well, because remember, we're firing from close range and we need an 8 or less. Also a true hit. So let's roll for our 2 torpedoes and see what we do to the Ixion. Let's see, a 3 I believe is good for 2 damage. Yep, so 2 damage with the torpedo and 1 with the other torpedo. So we have 3 damage, But because this one's over 10,000 tons, we actually need 4 damage to sink it. But since we're attacking an unescorted ship, we do get to use another weapon type. So we'll fire the aft torpedoes as well. So fire 1 aft. And of course it's once we get to the steam torpedoes that everything starts to be a lot more reliable. Nine is a miss, which is unfortunate, and fire 2. Is a hit. So let's roll for damage, but we are sinking the Axion with this. With another 1 damage, but yes, we have sunk the Axion. So just making notes there. And then that's it for that encounter, so let's bring the boat back in shot. Our poor battered Crew 4's light wound was healed on the last refit. British Isles 2 is going to yield, let's see, a 5 is another lone ship. Let's see what we have this time, shall we? Bring those out. We have a tanker this time. Looks like Tanker 62. Let's see what we have found. Tanker 62 is the 8,100 ton Conus. All right, with that, we are going... We're naturally going to attack it, so let's bring the combat mat right back in shot. Day or night? Let's find out. Daytime. Now, I have been glossing over in my daytime attacks that I do have the option of switching over to nighttime, but a lot of these prizes have been too good and I've not been wanting to let them slip away. And this one is going to prove no exception. So we are going to attack submerged, but we at least get to get nice and close since they don't have an escort. With that, fire 1. Oop, come on. There we are. Eight, that's a true hit. Fire 2. Is a dud. Fire 3. Is another hit, and fire 4. Would have been a hit, except it's a dud. So we have 2 torpedoes, and this is 8,100 tons, so we need 3 damage to sink this. The 2 is good enough by itself, so we sink the Conus. And then we'll bring the boat right back in shot. British Isles 3 is waiting for us. Let's see what it's going to give us. Nine is nothing. which is very welcome after we encountered two pretty sizable ships. And British Isles 4. Let's see what we get here. Ten is a convoy. Oh joy, I love rolling for these convoys. But I'm probably going to let this one go. We'll still go ahead and roll for it, but my expectation right now, like I said, is we're going to end up letting this one go because I don't have a lot of ammo left. Let's see what we get anyway. Maybe there'll be something here that we want, but I doubt it. Alright, so we have 3 small freighters and a large freighter. We'll go ahead and roll the ships. Like I said, we'll go ahead and roll the ships out anyway. Alright, so for our first small freighter, we will find small freighter 85, which is the 1,600-ton Trolla. Then for our second small freighter, okay, get back in there. All right, that actually was on an 8, so that'll be, we'll call that 84. The 3,300-ton Balladeer, or that could just as easily be Balladier. Maybe it's a free French ship, for all I know. Then our third small freighter. $49 is the Klantara at 1,200 tons. And our large freighter, which is our last ship in this convoy, and it might be the only one worth attacking, but we'll see. $56. Actually, the 56 is a good one. The Aboso at 11,300 tons. Okay, this is actually tempting. I wasn't sure I was going to attack this, but now that I look at what I've got, I think we are going to attack it. So with that, we need the combat mat in shot. Let's find out if it's day or night first. Four says it is night, so I've got some options here. I'm going to attack from medium range because I don't want to try to slip in under the convoy or under the escort. Do I want to attack surfaced, or do I want to attack from? Do I want to attack submerged? I think I'll attack surfaced because I really want this large freighter. So I'm going to put all 4 of my torpedoes, all four of my forward torpedoes into it. I'm going to let the other 3 go. Fire 1. Is a miss. Fire 2. I am rolling night surface torpedoes, so these are all -1s. Alright, That was a dud. That was going to be a hit too. Fire 3. That one's a hit, and fire 4. Is also a hit because 9 minus 1 is 8. So we get 2 hits, and we need 4 damage to sink this. So we get 4 and 6, which is good for 2 damage. Joy, joy. Alright, so 2 damage on the large freighter. But now we have to roll for escort detection. And we can't exceed test depth because we attacked surfaced. That's a 5, so we aren't detected. Which also gives us the option now. Let's see, roll detection, undetected. So we don't have to repair anything. I think we are going to try to follow. So we'll reload. We'll try to follow the Aboso. The Aboso, I should say. Now we need to find out if it's going to keep the escort. So once again, we want to see a 5 or a 6. That's a 6, so we actually lose the escort now. Alright, so we'll follow the Aboso, which means we'll remove our undamaged ships. And I've already reloaded. So with that, looks like I need to change the battery before we try to finish off the Aboso. We have 2 torpedoes left for the entire patrol. And I'm going to throw them in. I'm going to stick with a night attack. This time I'm going to get up nice and close. I'm going to put them both into the... I'm going to put them both in along with 2 shots from the deck gun. Just because I want to make sure I nail this thing if I can. So fire 1. Now we need an 8 or less to hit, but we still dud out with the torpedoes on a 1 or a 2. Alright, so that's a hit. Fire 2 on the torpedo. Alright, a 9 minus 1 would have been an 8, except the 1 meant that was a dud. So now first shot with the deck gun, and now I don't have to worry about the dud roll anymore. A 4 is a hit with the deck gun, so I'm pretty sure we're sinking the Aboso. Alright, so 1 of the shots from the deck gun missed. Alright, so we'll roll these 2 dice. Red for the torpedo, black for the deck gun. But I think with 2 hits, we're sinking the Aboso here. Alright, so I think we said red for the torpedo, so that's 3 damage plus another 1 is 4. So we have managed to sink the Aboso, so that was 11,300 tons more of shipping. With that, we need the boat right back in shot. Getting ready for transit 2. Now's the part where we want it to be quiet. So transit 2. There's nothing. And Bay of Biscay 2. Once again, we want it to be quiet here as well. 6 is also quiet in the Bay of Biscay. I believe, yes. Which means we have a lot we're going to be doing on this patrol. We're coming out of this patrol. So we are back home for our 6th successful patrol. Since we've had another group of 3, we get to roll for crew advancement again. So let's see what we get here. Okay, nothing special happens with the doctor again. So let's see what we get for crew advancement. Alright, so a 2 this time is... I think we had a 2 on the last one, so the doctor just becomes super experte, I guess. Alright, so now I get to... So actually there are a couple things that happened for me here. First I've got to total up my new... I got to total up the total from what I sunk, 10,300 tons, plus 8,100, plus 11,300, is good for another 29,700 tons, which should give me the Knight's Cross. 16,100, plus 31,300, plus 4, plus 20,008, plus 29,700. Yep, that will give me the Knight's Cross. Commandant. That's the Knight's Cross. So there is the Knight's Cross going on my medals and rewards section. And what does the... Okay, must sink 100,000 tons. We're up to 117,800 tons total. Which means I don't... So because of the Knight's Cross now, I don't have a +1 die roll penalty to a hit when I'm firing a second salvo from the aft tubes during a night surface attack. So I do get to roll for a promotion as well. Which means... So... Let's see. So we'll show you the patrol for that. The procedure. So I get to roll 1d6 for promotion, and I get a modifier of -2, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm rolling this at a -2 because of the Knight's Cross I just got, and for the 10 ships I sunk during this patrol period. And on a 1 or 2, it's actually a 1 to 4, I get promoted. That's a 3 minus 2 is 1, so I do get promoted. Promoted to Capitan Lieutenant. And I probably just pronounced that terribly. Capitan Lieutenant. So that's rank 2. Which gives me a special bonus now. Which allows the player to request a specific patrol assignment on a 1d6 of a 1. If this occurs, I may voluntarily choose the next patrol assignment from the U-boat patrol assignment chart, unless I'm permanently assigned to the Arctic or to the Mediterranean Ocean. So I passed through September 1940, which is why 1940, which is why I got to roll for that. So I don't... Okay, so I'm going to end up in my same boat, which I think is a good place to wrap up tonight's Patrols of the Hunters. So we'll be into October 1940 on our next patrol. That will do it for this session. Sunday we're still on track to continue to finish Pandemic Month with World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Pandemic. Wednesday next week, we'll be featuring the background campaign for Hero Realms. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.